Check the mic and make sure.
We interrupt this regular scheduled program to bring you this important message.
Hello, everybody.
Biggest panda I've ever seen. Look at that now.
There's money on it!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Picker Live. We're here with Sarah, of course, and Ed, the Reselling Rider, has graced us with his presence for a second time. But mainly because now we're cross-listing, and so now we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And Fart Sack Jack wants to let us know he's here with a bunch of emojis to start off the chat. Riblets Gaming is here, and she's laughing at him. And Superfast Tortoise is here. Hello, hello.
Hello.
So welcome everybody. So we are cross-listing. We started off like gangbusters, and we were taking all kinds of stuff off of eBay and putting it on Macari. We got the learning curve down with Poshmark now, but we have slowed down a little bit, and I am chalking it up to laziness, but it could be because there are some glitches with the system. And one that drives me mental, and I'm just asking you if you have had this happen. Have you had, like, so let's say something sells on eBay, and then you go into List Perfect and you hit Mark Sold, and it brings up all those windows and says Mark Sold, and then it doesn't take it off?
That only happens. So, question for you: is it when you have to log in from to Poshmark?
I haven't noticed any. Like, the windows all seem to be normal. I've seen the error on Facebook where it says, "Oh, something went wrong," and then you have to go through on Facebook and do it manually, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But we've had things that have just stayed on Macari for no apparent reason, and they're showing as sold in List Perfectly, but they're still on Macari. So I didn't know if you've ever seen that happen.
No, that hasn't happened to me. Every time I mark something sold, it's gone. The only time that it doesn't do it automatically is on Poshmark when I have to, when I forget to log in before doing that. I have to put in my information, and then I have to actually delete it myself because I don't know why that happens, but that's the only time that it does happen for me. But for Macari, it's been working fine for me the whole time.
Interesting. Yeah, that's the only real, I mean, other than the Facebook glitch, which drives me insane. For those of you that may or may not be listing on Facebook, we've had a thing where I would be cross-listing something, and like I'll get through like 7 or 8 of them, and then like by the 9th one or something, I'll hit publish, and I'll be like, "Oops, something went wrong." And then I'll hit publish again. It says something went wrong. Something went wrong. Something went wrong.
That one. That one only happens to me probably once every 50 listings. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
See, it happens to me all the time. I don't know what maybe it's my browsers, but yeah, it's driving me crazy. But
I never do that, so I don't know.
No, Sarah hates it.
I hate Facebook Marketplace with a passion.
Yeah, but that selling fee is just so enticing.
Yeah, and I don't like how, and I don't know if you can change this, and maybe you guys know. I don't know how they just pay you. Like you can't like save up your money and get like all the payment like at one time. They just pay you like randomly, like
as things are delivered. I think they pay.
Yeah, it's just how it is. Unfortunately, you can't. The
I
only
hate
way
that.
would be to accept PayPal on your own, but I just don't like that.
Yeah.
So, William's here. He says hello. Hi, William. Welcome. Dark County Picker. Jimmy's here. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
How you doing? So, yeah, those are the only real problems that we had. But we've had some really good sales on Macari and Facebook. Facebook, I think, is probably our second best marketplace at this point. Poshmark is way in the rear at this point because we don't have enough designer things to put on Poshmark.
Yeah. I've sold a lot of non-designer stuff on Poshmark. It's just the whole sharing thing that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I right now I'm sharing 800 and some listings 3 times a day. and I'm able to do it because I put my phone. I do it all on my phone. I put my phone down, and then I'm actually just scrolling, and then I do 4 taps at the same time. That's how I do it, and that's how you do it quicker.
Nice.
Well, someone said there was a way to share your whole closet on your phone. Is that wrong?
Well, they're probably talking about the bulk sharing tool, which is what I use. The only thing is there's no just click one box and then it checks everything. You still have to do the work. What other people are probably referring to are bots, and if you get found with bots, then you already know it's like you're out.
Okay. Yeah, we don't share our stuff very frequently.
I hate doing it. Like sometimes I'll go in there and I'll share it. Like if I'm in the car and he's driving, and I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't want to do all that.
It's the second for me, and the reason I like it is because of the flash shipping. Because those shoes there, you would pay more on any other marketplace to ship those shoes unless they're really close to my zone. And most of the shoes I sell, they always go to the East Coast as usual.
We found that with Macari, the FedEx Smart Post, although it's not fast, it's cheap because if it's under £3, it's $7.99.
Yeah.
And we got these. As everything's just gonna fall out. We got these, which are huge, which are bigger than these.
Are those free, or do you have to pay for the FedEx ones?
They are free,
No,
but
they're free.
They will only send you so many of them, and you got to watch that you don't get the express ones. There's ones that say express right here. But they are free. But if you try to order like 500 of these, it sends you a message and says, "Nah, you don't use FedEx that much. Maybe you should take it down." But I ended up ordering 50 of these, and it just says FedEx on them. It doesn't say express or anything. And in fact, it actually encourages you to reuse this. There's 2 like adhesive strips on either side, so you just pull this one and then you can reuse this one if you wanted to. So
yeah.
That's the only reason I don't use FedEx is because of the free USPS supplies, but I didn't know those were free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's boxes too.
Yeah.
Do you have to make an account to get them?
Yeah. But the account's free.
Oh, okay.
There's these 2. Which are kind of like I'd say these are equivalent to like these are like an A box probably. It's not quite as big as the medium. So it's probably like a USPS A box. So, yeah. We got some people to say hello to. Jane Simmons is here. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Sohani's here. Hello, Sohan.
Hello.
Hi, I'm working on cabbage patches, Sohani. I just did this one.
We bought a bunch of cabbage patches off of Sohani, and Sarah's been working on them. That's why all those cabbage patch pictures are coming from. NC Pickers is here. He says, "Oh, look at his timing." Yeah, you right on time, buddy. Superfast Tortoise says, "I haven't cross-posted yet. We are on Marketplace, nor do we offer shipping yet, but people do ask about shipping. Signs that we should start? Yeah, probably. What are the bugs about shipping on Marketplace?" There's a lot of them, but their shipping system for me is so clunky. It's shipping like weights, like 2 to 5 pounds. It's easier if you put in the exact weight, but like on my window, and it's probably a Mac thing, I'm sure, but like when that little shipping thing comes up and you have to change like the weight from 1 to 2 pounds to 3 to 5 pounds, as soon as I click that, it cuts off the top part. Like I can't scroll up on their window. It's just awful. So I have to put in the exact weight every time. So
I don't have that problem at all.
It's probably because of the browser I'm using, I'm sure. But
yeah, I mean, the other thing about Marketplace is don't put anything expensive there, because even though they did just implement that where they actually have to return the item now to get a refund, it's still I'm pretty sure there's still going to be like a lot of bugs right now. It's just really buggy right now since it's the newest Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it is our second best, without a doubt. Like, we definitely get the most action on Marketplace.
Really?
I mean, aside from eBay, yeah, Macari was doing really well there for a while, and then it just fell off. And now Marketplace is kind of, because remember we put a bunch of band T-shirts on there, and I put like 10 of them on, and like we sold 5 in the first day, and then we just sold the share one on Marketplace recently. So
do you use the Facebook labels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think right now they're doing a promotion, or they do it randomly, where for you it might not be free shipping, but it shows the customers free shipping for them. So
Oh.
even though you're charging shipping for to the buyer, it might be showing free shipping for them. I've been seeing about that on the marketplace group, so maybe that's why. And also lower dollar items do sell a lot better on Facebook.
Absolutely. Yeah, they and we've some of those old dolls and Sarah's creepy dolls that she's selling off, they do really well on Marketplace. You do get a lot of weird questions on Marketplace, though. You get like people that are like, "Oh, where are you located?" "I'm in Virginia," and you're like, "I'm in Pennsylvania." So
You know why they do that though?
why?
Because they're thinking that it's a local pickup still.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've had people like reach out to us and they're like, "Oh, well, I can come pick it up," and I'm like, "Where are you?" And they're like, "I'm in Maine," and I'm like, "I'm in Pennsylvania." So no.
The one I hate the most is like, have you worn those shoes before? Is it still smelling like it?
I love those. We get those on eBay sometimes, and they're like, "When did you buy this shirt?" And we're like, "We bought it from a wholesaler, dude. Like this isn't our shirt."
Yeah, exactly.
Jane has a question. I imagine this is for you, Ed. Do you have Posher VA?
I do not. I know what it is, but I don't use it. It's essentially, if it's the same thing as the other one that I know about, they have a VA that just is dedicated to sharing your closet. You pay them, and then they just share. I think 3 times a day. So you pay them, and then they do the work for you. That's what Rinsey does. They use I forgot what they use. I think it's Posh or something. I don't think it's that one though.
Oh, okay,
but that's how they do it.
That's commitment to a craft, right?
Yeah,
there.
we only have 66 items on our Poshmark now, so maybe we should add more.
Mhm,
If you do it the way that I told you, like have your phone down and then do 4,
Uh-huh.
4, you'll have everything in like 5 minutes.
How do you even get to that?
You're using a different app though, right?
No,
Are
I
you
use
using-
Poshmark. So
Oh.
let me see if I can.
Because I looked and I wasn't real sure. Like I went under where it says
So-
my closet.
Yeah, so you go to probably too bright.
Yeah, like I can't see that.
Okay, there you go. So you just go to my closet,
Okay.
and then it's gonna be this one right here. You see the little wrench?
Yep.
You click that,
Okay.
and then you go to right here where it says share followers,
Oh, okay.
and then it's gonna it's gonna show up everything. So you see, you scroll all the way down until you have it, and then what you do
Okay.
is you put your phone down on a table or anything. Just do 4 at
Okay.
a time, and then just use your index, and then you just do that over. That's how I do it.
Oh.
I have everything
That's-
clicked in 5 minutes, and then it usually takes around
Yeah.
another 7 minutes for it to share everything.
That's great. Thank
Oh,
you
there
so
you go.
much. I couldn't figure it out before.
Of course,
I was like going to each one and sharing it. Like, I don't know what I was doing.
that was the old way until they put that bulk feature. That's what made it my second highest because I was sharing a lot more now.
Yeah, I'm going to
Well,
do
maybe-
it once a day at least.
Just like the last time you were on, we started cross listing and using List Perfectly. Now, maybe the next time we talk to you, Poshmark will be up there. You're full of great information.
Yeah.
Here to help.
See, I just did. I'm done already because I only had 66 items.
See, you see that took not even a minute.
Yeah. Thank you.
NC
Of course.
Picker says, "Can you use those FedEx mailers to ship USPS?" I'd say no.
I'm thinking no.
Now, will USPS take them? I'd bet, but it seems to me that FedEx, like whenever I tried to order 300 of those mailers, and they were like, "Your account does not have that much activity to warrant you ordering that many mailers. Why don't you have 50?" So I'm assuming FedEx has some sort of tracking system that they use to see, who is deserving of all these free mailers. So I'd imagine if you don't ship at all FedEx and you order a couple hundred of those mailers all the time, they're going to catch on eventually. So I'm saying it's probably a no-no, but if you use Macari, if you ship with Macari, they come in handy because shoes will fit in these. They're really big. I mean, they've got a wide opening, so shoes will fit in these, and so will a whole bunch of stuff. That books fit really well in here, like all kinds of stuff. So they have come in handy, and we've used them for FedEx home delivery when we're shipping out to the West Coast. On those, I think did your sign come in one of those?
Yeah, it did. It came in FedEx.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a pretty common thing with us. But yeah, it's a big envelope. It's much bigger than the priority. Yinzer Pickers here. He wants to stop by and say hi. We finally ran into Mike.
Yes.
Finally.
Really?
When
Yep.
we walked in to buy the mystery boxes, I looked up. There he is, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's about time.
Yeah, it was so funny. Yep.
So, yeah, it's,
Where are those mystery boxes at?
They are.
They're in
the
our
living
living room.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited too.
Think
I was
about
like,
how hard
I had anxiety when we were buying them. Like, I was like, oh God, like, is this going to be a disaster? But
Does it feel like rice?
it doesn't actually. It doesn't feel like rice. Like, but they're definitely, I mean, they were like, what, 26 and 27 pounds each.
Yeah.
So they're pretty heavy.
Yeah,
So
they
hopefully-
are. We shook a whole bunch of them to see. Like, we didn't want to like get a bunch of boxes that like one box that has like 5 big items in it or something. So we were like, you know what? Let's shake a few of these. So I shook a few of them, and I came up with 2 of them. And Sarah found another one that felt pretty good and pretty full. And we were talking to the guy that worked there, and he's like, "Well, people are pulling like lots of video games out of these. Like, people are pulling sealed video games that were returned and stuff like that. So, and newer ones.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, you know."
Yeah, he said some of the video games like people were getting $80 for, so that would be good.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
He did say before we left, he's like, you got to manage your expectations, because he's like, you're not going to pull an Xbox out of this or anything. And I'm like, nah, we didn't think we were. We're going to, well, I'll be very surprised if it isn't like a box full of fidget spinners or something.
Oh God, he did say that somebody got chocolate milk in theirs. But I guess like they make the shelf stable milk.
Yeah, it's probably like the muscle milk or something.
Yeah, or like Horizon makes shelf stable milk. So
And that still sells too.
yeah,
We'll give it a shot.
as long as it's not expired.
Yeah. So, yeah, Yinzer Picker, it took long enough. Yeah, it did. We don't live that far from each other either.
Yeah, really close.
NC Picker said, did we open the mystery box yet? No, they are still sealed and sitting in our living room. And we are staring at them every night going, wonder what's in there.
They're sealed with Amazon tape, so we can't even tape them back up and like open them up.
Yeah, they'll see eBay tape.
It's gonna be fun. I'm having anxiety about it, but it's.
Did you guys already figure out the format that you guys are gonna do it like?
Yeah, so where Sarah's sitting is probably where we're gonna be, and we're gonna use her microphone, and then we're gonna set my webcam, because my webcam can be on a tripod. We're gonna set my webcam up on a small tripod and just stick it out there. So the webcam is probably not gonna be on the computer like it is here. So I'm gonna be looking like this way a lot, because I'll be looking at the chat stuff. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. Super Pastor says Marketplace is starting to look like a jankier version of eBay. People are overpricing items. The algorithm thinks I want listings from out of state, even with garage sales. Thoughts? Is that good? I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Well, I wouldn't. I can't say jank. Well, probably it is a jankier version than eBay, because for one, they don't show you the. Well, I don't know. I haven't paid attention, but they don't show you the price of what it actually is. And then they show you a lot of out-of-state things. But the thing that I really hate is that they keep showing you a lot of the China stuff, just like eBay does, and then a lot of these mystery boxes, pallets, all this stuff starts showing up. And I don't know if that's because Facebook is looking that I'm looking at a bunch of reselling things, or it's just showing me like a bunch of random stuff. I'm guessing that Facebook knows what I'm looking for, so it shows me those listings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make sense. I don't look on Marketplace all that often, so and most of the stuff around here that I do see is like equipment and stuff, because that's the stuff I've looked for in the past on Facebook Marketplace when I was trying to buy like a snowplow or something. So I imagine Facebook Marketplace, but I have looked for video games and stuff like that in the past, but it seems like what he's saying is that the vast majority of stuff I see is overpriced, or it's, retail, like I would buy it for. I very seldom see like lots of this for $10. Just get it out of my house. Like I don't ever see that kind of stuff.
I think another thing might be too is like you might see it overpriced because those sellers maybe are expecting offers, but a lot of people on Facebook don't know they could do offers, because every Facebook sale I get, it's always full price. It's like, I have offers on, send me an offer, but it's always full price that I get.
Yeah.
I have asked, people have, contacted me and they're like, can this be negotiated? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, well, would you take this for it? And I'm like, no, I would take 25 for it. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's good. And I'm like, go ahead and make me an offer. And they're like, how do you do that? And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. I can assume
exactly.
It's pretty obvious, but maybe it's not.
I don't think it's actually obvious. The only way I think you can is if they actually open the chat window, but it has to be on desktop. I don't think it's available on mobile.
Oh, well,
so and a lot of people they shop on mobile.
Yeah.
So that's probably the explanation, because I have seen that offer button on desktop but not mobile.
Yeah. Well, we'll ask the group. Does anybody out there know how to make offers on Facebook Marketplace? If you can do it on mobile. We know Ed knows how to do it on desktop, but can you do it on mobile? Yinzer Picker says, I watch them buy and carry them out. That's right.
This is true.
They were heavy.
He witnessed it.
SM postcards here. Hello. So Hani has questions. Have you guys looked into Cherish and First Dibs? It's incredibly overpriced, but fun to browse. I have never heard of either.
I don't know what that is.
No, I guess none of us have. Enlighten us, so Hani, what is it? Sounds like
I'm gonna guess it's like a pallet thing.
Could be. Or it could be like in two new marketplaces. First Dibs sounds like a marketplace to me. But I know there's a new marketplace out for kids clothing, but I don't remember the name of it.
Is it a Kittyzen?
It might be.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't have any luck on that.
Mostly antiques and home decor. That would be, yeah, well, not our alley, that's for sure. But is it all local stuff then?
I mean, sometimes it is.
Well, Sarah,
we have we have antiques on our store. Look at my background and look at Adam's background. My background is like antiques. Of course, his is like the eBay inventory for the most part, and the Cabbage Patch dolls, but like the Yoshis and the toys are like all his. All this like dark, like antique garbage behind me is like what I'm into, and he's all into the toys.
That's right. I was gonna say that if somebody came for the very first time, I would think that Sarah is the serious one and Adam is the fun one. Background.
Yeah.
We're both pretty fun, but
yeah.
I like old things.
That's right.
And Cabbage Patch dolls. Very random.
It's as you can see, the Cabbage Patch has grown quite a bit. So
how long do you think that bin store is gonna last where you're at, where you got the mystery boxes from?
I don't know. It's hard to say. They have a lot of they had a lot of mystery boxes the first time we went there, and then I feel like a significant amount of them were gone. Don't you feel like that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 pallets of just straight boxes when we were there on Sunday, and they were at least halfway down by the time we went back to buy them on Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So I don't know. I mean, it's a weird like dark warehouse, so I don't know that the rent is all that expensive.
It is weird.
His overhead though has got to be through the roof, because all that stuff. I mean, I can't imagine. So there definitely is an Amazon warehouse really close to where he is, because we've gone down there before and we've seen rows of trucks coming out of that road. So something with Amazon is in that general area. So, but I'd be curious to know like how much he pays for all this stuff. Like it to me, it looks like it's in the $10,000 range every month or so. Every time he restocks, it's got to be tons, because those mystery boxes, I would say at minimum, they're probably charging him $25 a piece per those mystery boxes. And then he's got all that crap in the back and all those pallets. I mean, it's got to be a lot.
Well, it's I have an idea, because you remember I told you I was going to bring up a story about those Amazon bin stores during the live.
Sure. Yeah. Go
and it's because a couple years, I say maybe 10 years ago, before I started reselling, I actually worked at one of those warehouses. But at the time, these bin stores, they were not a thing. So when I went there, it was open to the public, but then the city came down on them for some reason. So to wholesalers, I got a job there just because I wanted to shop there again, because it was on Target pallets at the time. So when I got there, the pay wasn't worth it, so I quit after 3 weeks. But then I asked them, "Can I still shop here?" I was like, "Yeah, you can still. You're a former employee, so you'll be able to shop."
Nice.
The thing is, I was just shopping for myself, and then I'd say 3 months later they had to close that location down, and then I didn't know why. And yeah, and then I found another one, same name, everything, 10 miles away from me, and then they closed that location down a year later. And now I know it's because everybody started opening up these bin places because they were the ones buying up the pallets and the Target pallets. So at the time, I think they were like maybe $300 to $400 a pallet, and now with all these Amazon bin stores, they went up all the way to like $900 to $1,000 a pallet now.
Right.
Yeah.
So those pallets are expensive now too.
Yeah. Well, that's our first one in this city. We haven't had one yet. And as far as I know, that's the only one.
Yeah.
But the 2 times we were there, they weren't that busy.
No.
But and it seems to me that the vast majority of stuff that are in these Amazon, it's almost the same. Like if you went to an Amazon return store in LA and we went to ours in Pittsburgh, I would venture a guess that like 90% of the stuff that's in those bins is virtually the same type of stuff that's in your bins, like phone cases, weird like fads. Like what are those? They're the replacements to the fidget spinners.
They're like you pop them. They have like
yeah. I don't know
tons of those. Yeah.
Weird unbranded clothing with weird letters on them.
Yeah.
Misspelled things like the Kobe Bryant poster. And then like damaged stuff, like stuff that was opened, may or may not be complete in the box. But then there's like weird stuff. Like we found a decent amount of Halloween, like, not name brand Halloween stuff, but weird Halloween stuff. Like I found a weird red mask, and Sarah found a few random Halloween things. But so I don't know, but we just look in the dollar section. Like we don't have any interest in the dollar
section.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. So as far as I know, we only have one bin store, and that's I think like 10 minutes away from me. But I don't bother going because on restock day it's Wednesday. For one, I'm working, so I can't. And then 2, I've been reading from other people that if you're not one of the first 5, in that first 10 minutes, all the good stuff's already gone. After that, it's not even worth going anymore.
But what really is the good stuff? Like, are people pulling Samsung phones out of this stuff? I mean, like, or is the good stuff video games?
So they probably are pulling those kind of things, but that's the thing that they're planting in order to bring the people in. So it's just a mental game. So I was like, okay, we have these 5 good items hidden, but you have to find them. But in the meantime, we're enticing you to get all the other crap we don't need.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I felt about it originally. Like when I started seeing it pop up on YouTube, I was like, okay, like something doesn't seem right here.
Yeah.
Like, something seems wrong. Like you're telling me you walked into an Amazon bin store and left with 2 Samsung phones that cost you $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Like you might have, but I don't think that's going to be a regular thing. And then like these same YouTubers that were going like kind of religiously all of a sudden stopped.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so this is one of those things.
And when more and more started opening, I'm pretty sure those store owners reached out to them and tells like, hey, come by, make a video. We'll plant this here, and just bring these customers in. Make it look really good.
I mean, for the record, if there is any Amazon bin store employees or managers out there, any of the 3 of us you can contact, and we will be more than happy to go out. We'll even make a great thumbnail for it.
But and then you're right. Yeah, a lot of these big YouTubers too, they stopped going after a while, and I have a feeling too that it might have been because they might have been getting a lot of viewers.
Yeah,
you can get a lot of viewers from stuff like that.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Trish has a question for I imagine this is for Sarah. Do you all find Cabbage Patch dolls at Goodwills, etc.?
So I've honestly never, ever found a Cabbage Patch doll at a regular straight up Goodwill. I found them at Goodwill bins before. And I found them basically, if I don't get them at Goodwill bins, I get them at the red, white, and blue thrift stores by our house, which seem to like always have them, or I get them on shopgoodwill.com in big lots, or I actually buy them off eBay in big lots.
Yeah.
Is
Most
where
of
I
them
get
don't have any
most of
clothes
them.
on them. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'll buy like a bunch of like 12 Cabbage Patch Kids off eBay, and then I'll dress them.
This one was nude whenever she bought it.
And yeah, that's a newer one. I just got that one yesterday. It actually sold already. We're just waiting for the person to pay. They only have 5 feedback, so I don't know if they're going to pay or not.
Good either way. Riblets Gaming says they don't look very big in pics for what they charge. Am I just seeing it wrong? I imagine she's talking about the Goodwill bin store.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the boxes.
It would be the boxes.
Oh, the boxes. The boxes
they're pretty big.
I'd say they're the biggest Amazon box that you can get. It's
I want to say it's.
I'd say at least 2.5 to 3 feet long.
Yep.
Maybe 1.5 feet tall, and then maybe another 1.5 feet wide.
Yeah.
So
maybe
they're pretty big.
even probably that's probably like pretty spot on.
They're not huge, but yeah, she's right. They're packed though. They're very heavy. They each weigh about 20 some pounds a piece. So
packed with milk.
Super fast tortoise. Milk and rice.
I'll be real mad.
Super Fast Stories has a bunch of questions. What would you say is the core aspect in running a resale store? What's the motivation other than paying bills? What are some good business practices a reseller should make a habit of? Are you, when you say resale store, I imagine he's talking about an online resale store. Core aspects in running a resale store.
I could try to answer.
Go for it. Yeah, I'm still the core aspect has me hung up.
So when they say core aspect, in reality, that's really up to you. It depends if you want to use it for bills, for like you said, or for fun, save it up to buy a car, or save it up for retirement. It's really up to you on what you want to do in the end. It's that's really the best way I can say it. It's what you decide to do with your business.
Yeah. This sounds cliche for me, but my motivation's always been, some form of financial independence and not having to rely on working for somebody else and stuff like that. That's always been kind of our motivation for doing it.
Yeah.
The best practices, my best practices is just keep going. Be like, you can't quit on it. Like the moment you slow down listing, the moment you slow down making offers, the moment you slow down maintaining your store is the moment your business starts to fall. You really have to pay attention to it. Like Ed was saying about sharing things on Poshmark constantly. It's not the same on eBay. Like you don't have to share things on eBay, but the less activity you have on eBay, the less likely that you're going to start selling things. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with their algorithm. The more, action is on your store, the more you're likely to be pushed to the top of that.
Yeah. If I even if I don't have, I try to do 20 a day, but we didn't get much this week. So I've actually just been listing some of my own clothes and stuff around the house that I just am not going to wear and I haven't used. Just because I want to get it out of here and I know it's going to sell eventually. So why take it to Goodwill when I could just list it? But I also if I don't have a lot of stuff to list, I'll pull down maybe 20 or 25 items and then that get a lot of hits and have a lot of watchers. I know maybe that's kind of mean, but sometimes I feel like it just needs to be a fresh listing again. And I'll pull it down and do sell similar and then put it up and maybe raise the price a little and change it to free shipping or do something else to it. And sometimes that helps too.
Also, when it comes to reselling, you have to basically expect the worst. It's not going to be how the other YouTubers put it. It's yeah, I made this, I made that. It's no, you have to expect the worst. There are going to be 2-3 days where you might not make a sale, especially if you're new. And you're gonna get a bunch of scammers. You're gonna get a bunch of low ballers. You're gonna have your slow days. Don't get discouraged because that's the first thing you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel I'm not selling nothing. I'm not good enough. It's it's just part of it. It's gonna get better.
Absolutely.
With experience, everything gets better.
With experience, yeah, and the more you list, the more it will become. When we first started out, we were very slow. We'd 2 or 3 sales at maybe every other day and things like that. But, as our store grew, we've gotten to the point where we're consistently, in the teens as far as every day goes. We very seldom dip below 10 sells for a day. It just doesn't happen anymore. And that's because
Yeah.
we've kind of got our niche figured out. Like we sell clothing, we sell dolls, we sell vintage toys, we sell squishmallows or whatever, and we sell shoes now because of you, Ed. And
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. I mean, sometimes thank you. Sometimes I'm like, what did I do? But the more consistent you stay with it, the more it's going to become consistent back to you. You're going to get more consistent flow of income. You can start to depend on it, which is what we've gotten to that point where we can depend on, a certain amount of sales every week, and we're going to be fine. So
I want to get up to
don't fall with your
2,000.
inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get up to 2,000 items. That's my goal. And I just can't do it because like if I've been trying so hard right now. The other day I think I was up to 4 or 15, like 57 or something like that. And I'm like, I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to get up to 2,000. Now I'm back down to 1538 because we just sold like 25 things yesterday. So I'm like, and I only listed maybe like 10 today, maybe 15. I want to get to 2,000. I can't even get to 1,600.
Mandy's here. She says hi, guys.
Mandy.
SM Postcards is here. Having cash flow is the key to having stock turnover. Can't wait for the last penny on all items. Very true. It's always good information from SM Postcards. NC Picker says, I got a sponsorship offer to try a mystery box company. Yeah, sweet. I'm probably going to do it, but I do worry that they will send me better stuff than they normally send because of my channel size. Yeah. They probably will. I agree with you. NC Picker, do you think, are you going to tell your audience that you think that's the case, or are you just going to roll with it? I mean, obviously the 16 people that are in the chat, if you don't want to answer the question, don't answer the question. But I'm curious to know what you do, because I feel like if that happened to me, I might say something, because it'd be very hard for me not to.
More like how many of your subs are you gonna piss off if you get the bad box?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird because, like, I have a very difficult time, like, lying to people. Like, if I had to sit on this YouTube channel and pretend like I am shocked that I got all this stuff, I would have it would show all over me. Like, that one Sunday when I was just having a bad day, like, you can tell right the moment I start talking, like, something's wrong. So I feel like if they were sending me a box and it was full of all this good stuff and I'm supposed to be like, wow, I would totally recommend them, I would probably say I'd recommend them if every box looks exactly like this. But
like,
it would just
send you 10 boxes and they're all the same, then they probably recommend them.
Yeah, absolutely. Stupid question that I should know. What is your first names? I know Sarah's name, but I can't remember the other two. So we got Ed, and my name's Adam.
Yep, that's Ed.
There you go. I think Ed figured. Oh well, you replied to him. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
Trish was just wondering about the Cabbage Patch. Your mother's here. She says hello, Sarah and Adam.
Mom, with her little eyeballs on the end there.
SM Postcard says you need to find a product that sells itself. Postcards.
I put 2 postcards on. I haven't sold either one yet.
That's right. Mandy says Adam loves the shoes. Yeah,
he does.
Absolutely. And that's the problem that you also run into, is that when you start reselling and then you start, like, looking at stuff and you see it constantly, you're like, this is kind of cool. I feel like I need a pair of these. And that's how I ended up with the Air Force Ones, because I'm like, I need a pair of Nike Air Force Ones.
Or you just take things out of your own store, like body wash.
I think I've kept like 7 pairs of shoes already.
Really?
Nice.
Any good ones?
Yeah, some really good ones. Some Hoka's, Merrell, a bunch of outdoor shoes, basically stuff that is actually expensive if you buy them new.
Yeah, that's what I end up doing too, because I know I could have gotten probably $80-$90 for those Air Force Ones, but I'm like, no, these are too cool.
Yeah.
I need to keep them. NC Picker says, I will tell my audience. I probably won't tell my TikTok audience. Got to keep up the TikTok shorts. Gotcha. Susan's here. She says hi. And NC Picker More, he says, I will be brutally honest with my YouTube on
Nice.
my YouTube about it. Cool. I can't wait to see it. I need to see this. Tutu Silver, new name for me. Guess what pick? Guess what NC Picker fans are watching. There she goes. Yes, I know they are. I'm sure they are. I don't know why you wouldn't. He's always here, and he's been great to our channel. So thank you again.
Yes. Yes. Where's Tina Bina?
Yes, Sarah's wearing a Victoria's Secret shirt.
Yep, I got the shirt to match my hoodie.
And Trish also has a brother named Adam, so that's a good name. So yeah, do you collect anything, or did you start collecting anything since you've been reselling, or are you not a collector?
No, I'm not a collector. I'm not exactly interested in that kind of stuff. I really just buy and sell. I only keep shoes mainly because the ones I use a lot of them at work because I walk a lot on concrete, so they get used up really quick. So instead of paying for new shoes, I just use the ones that I get.
Right.
And no, I don't collect anything. It's not really my forte, I guess. But I do like to get, like, the soda signs or energy drink light up signs. That I would like, but mostly for the garage. But that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
We don't collect all that much. I every now and again will grab something for myself, but for the most part, we don't. Sarah had the Creepy Doll Baby collection, and I mean, I guess you could say the Cabbage Patch is kind of a collection, but they are all for sale. So
Yeah.
but she just likes buying them and reclothing them. So it's we don't really collect. I know there are a lot of resellers out there that do, and I would struggle a lot because, like, if you pick up an item that you want to keep for yourself and it's worth like $200, I don't think I could keep it for myself.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I would just sell it because, for one, I'm running out of space in my garage, and two, I don't want to. I need the money more.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I have, like, the one Cabbage Patch I wanted to keep, but I know it's valuable, so I had it on for $175, and I knew it. I really didn't care if I sold it. That's why I priced it so high, even though I knew it was probably more in the 125, 150 range. And then someone the other day offered me 125, and I took it. And then they're like, "Oh, I made a mistake. I don't want it anymore." And so I canceled it. And then they were like, "Actually, he's so rare. I want him back. Can I have him again for $125?" And I'm like, "Nope." I'm like, "He's on there for $150 now. If you want him, you can have him for that."
What do you do about stuff like that? If you get somebody that makes you that accepts an offer, then they don't pay or they cancel, and then they want, because this has happened to us on several occasions now, and then they want to buy it again. Do you let them make an offer again? Because that's our policy. Like, if you accept an offer and then you bail or you cancel, or you never pay, I'm not letting you make another offer. You can buy it now and pay for it like the rest of like a normal person, and then we don't have to deal with this. But I'm not letting you make another offer and hang up my product for another 4 days.
Yeah. So if they cancel, say for a legit reason where it's like, I purchased the wrong one, it was the other one, because I have multiple shoes that look the same. It's like, it wasn't this one that I wanted, it was the other. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll cancel, I'll relist, and then you could purchase the other one. But if they buy it on best offer, or they make an offer and they don't pay after 4 days, case closed. I block them and I move on.
Yeah. Oh, you block them?
I block them. And then same with Poshmark. If they leave me a 1, 2, or 3 star or anything lower, and the reason is for shipping time or anything like that, I block them because I don't want to deal with them again.
Man, you are.
Yeah, and same with Macari, because I got in a one. I got in a 1 star before.
Everybody.
Yeah, I've got in a 1 star before because of shipping time. When I shipped it that same day, and they got it 3 days later, and it's still 1 star me for shipping.
What? So, how fast do they want it?
So I got a funny story for you about Macari. I was going to bring this up too, and I thank you for reminding me. So we got a 1 star also, and it was because of shipping time. But that was when the hurricane blew through and like it messed up all the shipping time. And so I went on to Macari's help section, and I read through, and then they were like, "Hey, shipping times are very slow, or some shipping times could be delayed because of the previous bad, inclement weather or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool that they're recognizing it." So I reached out to Macari and I'm like, "Hey, we got this 1 star rating because of shipping time, but it says on your website that shipping times are delayed, especially FedEx. can we get this changed or removed? And he was like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, but it says on your website that shipping times are slow. Why? And this person's only complaint was shipping time. And he's like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, so on your website it says that there's a problem. And that problem is the same thing that I got a 1-star for. And you can't help me out. And they're like, no. I'm like, well, that seems unfair. And so I've been leaving the chat open just to irritate him, just so that it never closes, because I'm like, this is unfair. You shouldn't be doing this. And then I'll resend it. And then he'll be like, he'll send me the, automated crappy response. And I'm like, still think it's unfair. Shouldn't be doing this.
and I actually messaged Mercari on Twitter for that. And I don't use Twitter at all. So I just use it to contact other platforms or anything that they are active on Twitter. So I contacted them. And they specifically said, "Is like we want to keep it fair for both the buyer and the seller." And I'm like, "How is that fair?"
But that's
not. Yeah.
Like you're talking about FedEx did something that like I didn't do that. I didn't like wait 6 days to give it to FedEx. Like that I could understand. I gave it to FedEx within a reasonable amount of time, and FedEx took a week and a half to get it to the customer. That's not my fault.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I told him. And then in the end, I was like, okay, well, we'll let our team know, and we'll let them thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, that's basically what I got.
They say.
Go away. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey,
Go away.
thanks a lot. Like you could nullify it or something, or put a disclaimer next to it. I don't care. Just as long as people don't think that one person out of the 12 sales we've made on Mercari or 20 sales we've made on Mercari thinks we're crap, because now that's a really bad ratio at this point. And it's that's what bothers me about Mercari. And I've heard Poshmark's even worse with stuff like that.
Poshmark, well, for Poshmark, you can't even see the rating, so it doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. It only affects you if you're a Posh ambassador, because I think you have to stay above 4.5. So the rating only you can see. Buyers can't see that. Only you can see it.
Okay.
On Mercari, well, like you said, if you only have like 20 star feedback, and you get 5 of them 1-star, yeah, your rating goes down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, I think I have about 200 with only 2 1-star, so it doesn't affect me much. But yeah, if you have a little bit, it's going to affect you a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it does. And we had I had an issue on Mercari with some of the person that bought that Charizard card off me and then canceled. And he wanted to cancel, and I tried to cancel it, and they were like, the buyer has to request to cancel it. And I'm like, okay, well, so I told him about it, and he's like, I can't request to cancel it. I have to send a message to Mercari, and they're going to get back to me within 48 hours. He's like, but I don't want you to ship it between now and then. I'm like, I literally have the shipping label on the thing. It's ready to go to the mail. He's like, well, is there any other way you can cancel it? And I'm like, I guess so. So I picked a different reason, and it let me cancel it. And then I sent a message to Mercari saying, hey, the buyer requested this, because as soon as I picked a different reason, it gave me a hit right above my rating that said buyer has canceled in previous transactions. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, I get it. Like if I'm somebody that's selling something and I'm constantly canceling, that's a problem. But like this was a buyer requested. So I contacted Mercari, and they did get rid of that for me. So at least they did something.
Yeah, I think the reason they couldn't cancel no more was because you printed the label out already.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like I know what hit you're talking about, because I see that a lot on some profiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it when we were thinking about buying Sarah another microphone. I saw a few that were like, buyer cancels all the time. And I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't sound good. NC Picker says Tina Bina is entertaining her sister, and her kids are in town. So, and he's
that's
out
fun.
garage shipping. Adam, do you want to come live stream with me next Saturday at 8 p.m.? Not Saturday in 2 days. The one. Absolutely. Reach out to me on Instagram. I definitely want to do that. I love the crazy guys you're on with. So yeah, I'll be on. That'll be lots of fun.
I think I'm gonna. I thought I was gonna sneeze. Okay, I think I'm not. Okay, I was gonna mute, but I don't think it was.
SM Postcard says doll people are crazy. Yes, that's true.
It's true.
And C Picker says I just got to complain about a doll you sold. They were so picky.
Oh man, what kind of doll was it? I wonder. It wasn't a little cabbie, was it?
No, I hope not.
I always get compliments about my Cabbage Patches. People are like, she got here safely. She's so precious. I love her.
Yeah,
you're
we do get
welcome.
that a lot. Tutu Silver said she'd watch. Yeah, let's hook it up. Me and you, NC Picker. I block the crazies. Yeah, we've blocked. We have a handful. I think we have like 20 or 15 people that we've blocked, but all of those people have been insane.
There's a couple real memorable ones.
Oh yeah.
I was like, stop messaging me. No, you stop messaging me. No, I stop messaging you. No, you stop messaging me.
The lady with the dress is the one that
Yeah,
sticks out.
that she couldn't pay for her dress because her cell phone died and she didn't have a charger and she had to order a charger and it didn't come in the mail. Well, so you can get online and order a charger, but you can't get online and pay for a $12 dress.
Or drive to Walmart or any gas station or
and get a charger.
Or just go to your car. You know you have one in there.
Yeah.
This one in there somewhere.
I literally ask Adam how many charging cords I have on me at one time. Probably at least 2 in my purse, 2 in my backpack. I probably literally have 5 charging cords on me at any given time, plus a whole bin of charging cords over there. There's probably like 20 in there from an Amazon return box.
Ed, what you need to know is 2 things. Sarah was an Android user. No, I know you are, but Sarah was an Android user when Android was still kind of young, and when Android phones were notorious for horrible battery life. Like we're talking a couple hours of use and they're down to 20%. So she has this mentality still in her head that when her phone gets anywhere near like 40%, bing, it's got to charge it. So she'll be in the truck and she'll be like, oh my God, my phone's about to die. And I'm like, what's the percentage? And she's like 47. And I'm like, you've got a solid 6 hours before that thing goes anywhere near to being dead.
I have that same feeling too, but what I do is I go straight to power saving mode.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah. I'm on 70% now. Well, if I list, like that sucks up a lot of the battery because I'm just on my phone listing. So I'll list and then it'll suck it down to like 20% and then I'll go charge it. And while I'm charging it, all the stuff that I listed, I'll put it away where it goes. I'll do laundry and then I'll come back and my phone's charged and I can go back at it again.
Sure. It's up to 76%.
It's at 19 right now.
Stress.
So Honey says, I like the approach you all were taking to copies of 1984. Did you guys load up on books for back to school? We did not.
No.
And we cannot get 1984 cheap enough to sell anymore. But
no, it's like back up to $8 or something.
Yeah, we used to buy them for $3 or $4 and sell them for 12.
Yeah, 10 or 12.
Yeah, that was fun. And they sold fast, real fast. Dealing with the public is always an adventure. Professional time suckers, yeah, for sure. Derek, the Atlanta Flipper, is here. What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by, Derek. We appreciate it. Trish says, I'm still learning stuff. I didn't know you could block people like that. Cool. Yeah. The only way on eBay, the only way I know how to do it, I don't actually know how to navigate to it off of eBay's homepage. I know how to go to Google, type block people on eBay, and then I click on it and it brings me to the help page, and then you click block users and you can just type in their name, put a comma after it and hit save and it'll block them. But it still allows them to send messages if you have an open communication. So like if it's somebody that made you angry with the messenger, they can still send you messages all they want. They just can't do anything else.
On the seller hub, if you have the one square where it shows all the tools, there's actually one that says block bidders, and then it's just gonna bring that whole thing that you just said. So instead of having to navigate through all that, it's just right there on the seller hub.
Okay. I'll have to look. I very seldom look in the hub, to be perfectly honest with you. I was fooling around with TerraPeak the other day, and that was probably the most I was in on it. But we were toying around with TerraPeak. We were toying around with the idea of potentially getting things from like an Alibaba or like some sort of distributor to like have one item that we can just kind of turn and sell all the time. And we still haven't, really decided on what we're going to do, but we're trying to kind of kick the business from this level up to the next level in some way and start small, but I don't know. It's so hard to figure out, and then you have a product and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to sell really well. And then eventually it's going to go away. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's like it's like I did a wholesale deal and it was a bunch of summer girl shoes, Batman shoes, kids, and pink fluffy one. The Batman one sold quick. The pink ones took a while, and I still have 5 of the big U-Haul boxes full of those girls' summer shoes.
Oh God.
Donate those because this is gonna be the second year I've had them. I've only sold maybe like 20.
Have you ever thought of like putting them at a flea market or something?
They don't. It'll be too much. Too wasteful of my time. If I were to go to the flea market, I'll go there so I could buy things because I've gotten really lucky there. So
instead of getting your videos.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it for me to set up and pay the vendor over there. I would rather just get rid of it and recoup. Well, I've basically broken even, but I'd rather just donate them and get rid of them. That I could have that space more profitable items.
Yeah, that's a lot of space.
Yeah.
SM Poker said that eBay blocking works for the ID that they use to purchase or whatever. They can always sign in as a guest and buy from you. Oh, I'm sure, but they can buy things outright. That's fine. The vast majority of people that have been blocked by us have either been, like you said, insanely low ball offers and then they keep doing it. Like we had a guy the other day that offered $1 for a Matchbox car, and then I counter offer. We were asking $8 for it, like, so it wasn't an expensive one. I counter offered with $7. He came back with $1 again, and then I counter offered with $7.99 because I'm like, you're a jerk. Like, you're just a jerk. So then he offered $1 again, and I'm like, who is this guy? So I clicked on him, and he's a seller. Like, he's got 25, 30 things on his eBay store. And I'm like, you know what? I'm blocking you for 2 reasons. Number one, your offer was insulting. Number two, you're a reseller, and that's garbage that you do that to somebody. So I blocked him. But the most of them have just been crazies, like the lady with the dress and things like that.
I just block if I feel uncomfortable with them because I don't want to deal with it. It's just going to be a big headache, and it's going to be a big waste of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've had a couple instances where, like, I had done somebody a favor. They had asked for like a special something or other, or a special type of shipping or whatever. And then they drug their feet, or they didn't pay, or something happened. And then you're like, you're blocked. Like, I'm canceling your orders. You're blocked. We had one guy, we found this incredibly rare, well, not incredibly rare, but very, very rare pair of Levi's jeans. And we knew they were rare. We knew they were going to sell quickly. And I think we sold them for like $95 or something like that. And as soon as we put them on, we got offers like crazy. And one person sent us an offer for like $2 less than what we were selling them for. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to accept it. So I accepted it. And then 5 seconds later, the message comes through and it's like, I'm going to pay next Saturday. And you're like, no, you're not. Cancel.
So annoying.
It is. It's like, we're not Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart's not even doing it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Even they took it away.
Yeah.
They got tired of all your stuff too.
The doll was Penny Bright, Sarah.
Yeah, I've seen penny brights. They're like from the 60s. They got like I think they have a little red bow and a little red dress, but I've seen them go for like in the hundreds, I want to say, if they sell the box. So
yeah.
Why was she complaining? These doll people are crazy.
SM Postcard says the only response people get from me was, would you like to cancel this purchase? Yeah, we do that too, but a lot of times they're like, no, I'll pay you on Saturday. And we're like, no.
And then they tell like their life story.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I can tell you have a story.
They try to play the sympathy card because that's what somebody tried to do on Facebook for me. I think it was for like a Nightmare Before Christmas sweater. It was Halloween last year, and there was like, oh, my daughter really loves this, but I only have $20, and they were selling for $50 at the time. And I was like, I only have $20. Would you be able to do it, including shipping? My car just broke down. My mom just died. My uncle just died. I was like, nope. That's all I said. I was like, nope. If you like it, you could pay the full price because I'm not even gonna bother sending you an offer. I was like,
right.
Yeah,
that stuff does not work on me. For one, I know it's a scam. And even if it were true, it's like, well, it sucks. It sucks for you, but I don't know who you are. It's not.
Right.
Well, what always gets me, and we get this all the time, is people will buy like a $15 to $20 item off of us. Like, they'll accept the offer, and then they'll send us a message, and they're like, can I pay you on Wednesday because I get paid on Wednesday? And it's like, okay, dude, here's a couple things. first thing, if you get paid on Wednesday and you don't have the money to buy whatever it is you're trying to buy off me, you shouldn't even be on this website right now. You should be sitting at home trying to figure out a better job. Or, maybe you're like, okay, yeah, it's there. I'm going to come back on Wednesday and take a look. If it's still there, then I'll buy it.
Right.
Those are the types of things that you do. And then the other question I always have is like, if your bank account gets to that point every week where $20 is a problem, what are you doing buying things on eBay in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, maybe go get yourself a couple extra burgers or something with that money. You don't need this ephemera lot that's from the 1930s. The Squishmallows can wait.
They can't, though. People need to have them.
It's just my opinion.
I actually, so I only did that once. I was like, because it was for, I don't know if you remember, I sold that vintage camp grill. So I think I had it for $200 and some, but I've had it already for like 2 months. And then I sent an offer out to, I think it was like 10 people watching it. I sent an offer for 150 plus shipping. And then one of them messaged me and told me, I was like, I think it was a Saturday. And it's like, I don't get paid until next Sunday. Would you be willing, if I accept your offer, would you be willing to hold it? But so here's the thing. I told him I wouldn't be able to hold it, but when you get paid, send me that offer again and I will still honor it for you. And hold and behold, that Sunday he sent me the offer and he paid like that. So I mean,
no kidding.
Yeah, so that's what surprised me. And I was like, wait, is this the same person? I checked the messages, like, yeah, it's the same person. On that same day, on that Sunday, he paid the whole 150 plus shipping, so close to 200.
I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe people are just really strict with their budgets and they need to, do it in certain times. But I don't think so. And in my mind, if I was living paycheck to paycheck, I wouldn't spend $150 on a vintage camping stove. I would go buy a new one at Walmart for $40 or, a new used one a lot cheaper, because that camping stove is worth what it's worth because it's old. It's not worth what it's worth because it's really, really good. Like it's worth what it's worth because it's old. So why? Like, I just don't get it. I would never do that. I mean, there was a period in time in my life where I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I could promise you, I wasn't buying vintage Cabbage Patch in a box on eBay with my last $100. Like, I was not even looking to buy things other than what I needed to survive. And that's just my 2 cents, but I don't know. I'm sure there's other reasons.
In the end, that it worked out in my end, but it's like, maybe out of maybe 100 people, you'll get that one person who is like, oh yeah, I really just don't have the money, but I will pay you. So.
And we've given people, because I mean, if somebody legitimately accepts our offer and they want to wait, they want to pay us tomorrow or they want to pay us 2 days from now, there's really nothing we can do. I mean, once it's accepted and it's done, we pretty much have to bite the bullet and wait. We can ask them if they want to cancel it. And there's been times where people have said, oh, I'll pay you in 2 days. And we're like, well, why don't you cancel we'd prefer you cancel the order and then come back in 2 days. And sometimes people have been like, okay, yeah, do that. And then other people have been like, nah, I'll pay you on Tuesday. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. And even if we did it, go ahead.
I know, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even if we did want to wait, after 4 days, you're screwed anyways, because eBay automatically closes it. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
Right. And I've told people that if like, I'll pay you next Friday, and it's like, well, dude, after 4 days, eBay is going to cancel it. So why don't you just rebuy it? Why don't we cancel it now and rebuy it? And they're like, oh yeah, okay. And that's happened. I mean, people have rebought things from us, but most of the time, and it's just been my experience, most of the time when people are like, oh, I'll pay you next Friday, I'd say at least 60% of the time they don't pay you at all.
Yeah. And I knew that was going to happen with the Cabbage Patch Kid. So, like, it was too early to send a payment reminder. So I just sent her a personal message and I was like, hi, how are you doing? I'm like, we'll definitely get this Cabbage Patch doll sent out today when you send the payment. I'm so happy he's going to a good home. I hope you love him. Just like, because I knew she wasn't going to pay, just giving a real guilt trip. And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll pay tomorrow. And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, he's not the head that I thought he doesn't have the head that I thought he had, so I don't want him. And then I'm like, okay, well, you shouldn't have told me you were going to pay for it then. So other people want it, so I'm going to put it back up. She's like, it was wrong of me, can I buy him? I want him again now. I'm like, go away.
Superfast Tortoise has a question. What business tips for bookkeeping on sales, or does eBay do that for you? No, eBay does not do that for you. In fact, eBay will give you your total amount of sales, and it looks great until you realize how much you paid for all of that stuff. And then you're like, oh, wasn't that good?
It's like not that much.
We don't have a really foolproof system, so we are the wrong people to be asking that question. I would recommend, you know, who has a really good system is Hustling Hooks. They have a really good system, and I believe they share it with people. Don't they? They share their spreadsheet.
You can buy it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I assume, that you have to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think we have to say it at least. Like, we're not tax accountants, so don't follow our advice.
No.
But I use GoDaddy bookkeeping, and it's been pretty great for me.
Yeah, well, you're in company, because that's the next answer. He uses Easy Auction Tracker for eBay sales and GoDaddy Booking for Etsy, and it pulls everything I need. We might have to look into that.
Yeah, I use GoDaddy bookkeeping for everything because I got a bank account specifically just for reselling. That I don't use that for anything else, and it just pulls all the transactions from that bank account, and GoDaddy bookkeeping does it automatically, and it sorts it out into categories of the business, and then it's something that it can't identify. It just put it in the uncategorized option, and then you just put whatever category it's in, and then at the end of the year, you can make a report and give it to your accountant.
We're gonna have to do that. We've been telling each other for the last 6 months that we need to get better at this whole bookkeeping thing, and we have a bin right back here, and it's all receipts. Like, this whole bin right here is all receipts. And so we've kept everything, but we don't
sort it.
Yeah.
We will eventually.
We've been, like I said, it's been a discussion many times. We have this discussion all the time. My landscape business, I use QuickBooks.
Yeah.
And that's really easy to, work with. But QuickBooks doesn't do very well for stuff like this. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I don't think it does. I'll have to.
Yeah,
we should give it a try.
It's because, with online, it's just so many things that you have to take into account. And it's just, it's more confusing.
We also have talked about incorporating and going from there, but that's a whole nother conversation.
And then again, we're not tax accountants.
No, we are not tax accountants. Do not take any of our advice as fact, please.
I'm not a doctor, and I don't even play one on TV.
No. Ed, Sarah, nor I play tax accountants on TV either. eBay layaway program, that's the 4-day eBay, 3 days, 23-hour layaway program.
I don't know why. I have a feeling that a lot of that's going to be happening during the early part of December, because with Walmart getting rid of their layaway, probably other stores are going to be doing the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, let me accept this offer. And then message was like, oh, can I pay right during right before Christmas? Like, no.
We got that once. Somebody actually asked us, but luckily they didn't accept an offer. But one time they were like, "Can I pay you in September?" And we were like,
"Oh yeah, was that for Vampirella?"
Yeah, can you hold
this
for
Vampirella
for like a month? And we were like, "Dude, like, come on."
It was like $12.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, "What is even happening?"
If you have to wait until September, you should not be on eBay.
Yeah.
Superfast
Tortoise says, I remember a long time ago, this lady gave me a sob story. Being a noob to hold an item for a week and a half, marked pending, completely ruined my algorithm. No sales, lesson learned. Yeah, for sure. So, honey, the Squishmallows can wait. Quote of the night. It's Time says, I have a vintage camping stove for sale now. Still in the box. No offers after 2 months. Wow.
Question is, what kind do you have, though? Because it's only certain ones that are worth money.
Yeah. I don't know much about those, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I just happened to find it like randomly. I was like, oh, sweet.
Adam, have you been reading Susie Orman? I'm not sure.
She's
know who she.
She's a #1 bestseller, New York Times financial advisor. She writes books. How do you not know this?
Oh no, I don't pay attention to the news. With postcards, I have non-payers for weeks. They are shopping, and most of the time they buy a lot more cards. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, we don't get it to be perfectly honest with you. Most of the time I have found, and maybe you have had this experience too, Ed, I have found that a lot of the non-payers are people from out of the country. And it seems to me that the only way they can get an exact quote on how much it's going to cost to ship it is by accepting an offer, because a lot of the times we've gotten people that accept offers from the UK and they're like, and then they'll send us a message and they'll be like, shipping is just entirely too expensive. I'm sorry, we can't. And I'm like,
for me, it's actually been all domestic. It hasn't been any internationals. And I actually just had this happen last week where I had a buyer. He was going to buy at full price. I was willing to accept it later, but he was going to buy at full price. And it was for a $20 item. And then he sends me a picture saying, it's so much. It's so much for the item. I was like, really? Why? And then he sends me a screenshot. It was $20 for the item. And then his total was $53. I was like, you're probably overseas and you're using GSP. That's the reason. And so they could see it, but that's if they either buy at full price, or you're right, if they do a best offer and they accept it, and then they see it's like, wait, why is the price almost double? It's like, well, because you're overseas. That's what it's going to be. And then
the weird thing is that, like, if you use eBay's other international shipping program, not the GSP, but eBay International Shipping, when you go to give them a quote, like when you you know how, like, if you send somebody an invoice and you hit the calculate shipping little thing to calculate it, when you hit that button, it's so vague, it's unbelievable. It's like, where are you shipping this? US or North America and Canada, UK and other European countries? And then you're like, this isn't, like, it's going to Germany, dude, but you don't care as long as it's in Europe, apparently. And it's like, and you click on it, it's like, oh, it's $26, and you're like, like, you'd think they could figure this out and make it accurate right there on the listing, but
that's why I only have GSP turned on. If they want to buy it, then kudos to them. If they want to pay that a lot more, then that's all the better for me. It's like, I sold a pair of shoes. It was $50 plus shipping here, so $58. I saw the grand total they paid. It was $98 that they paid just for those pairs of shoes.
We had somebody buy something ridiculous the other day and ship it out of the country, and it was like I can't remember what it was, but it was like a $12 item, and then the total was like $68 or something.
Yeah, I forget what that was too.
It wasn't. I think it was a doll. No, it was I think it was one of these little dolls that were over here, and it was something cheap. Maybe. It was like $12, and their grand total was $68 to ship it to Australia or something. And I'm like, wow, you are committed. you really wanted that doll. But
we just have stuff that they can't get.
Yeah. Susan is also not a tax professional, just in case anybody's wondering. Susan says, I use QuickBooks, but they just raised their prices to a super crazy level. I need to find something new. Yeah, QuickBooks has been slowly creeping up on me. They started hammering me with credit card fees lately, and I do not like it. JD says, I'm still dying over here. The Squishmallows can wait. What was it? It's the next sticker coming from Pittsburgh Picker.
All our Squishmallows are gone. I can't find any.
We have so many right now. They're shoved in like 2 closets. They're shoved between the racks between Adam's heads. I can't wait till they sell.
Back here, right there is a Squishmallow.
We sold a huge kangaroo one the other day. It was so big.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah, I think that went out. I think that went to Canada.
No, that one went to the UK. Oh. That was the lady that sent us a message that said you made someone very happy. Yeah, that went to the UK.
Yeah.
SM postcards. Cost of goods sold is an expense that most people forget to put in. Yeah, I could see that.
That's actually what I put for all of my inventory. I don't know if I'm doing that right, but my tax lady says I am. So
there's no red mark, so we're good. SM postcard also doesn't keep a lot of receipts. Good to know bookkeeping ideas. Again, not a tax professional. Mm-hmm. So do you all make receipts for your purchases from places you don't have them, or you just go by what your accountant says you pulled? Or you just buy what your accountant says you pulled and deposited? It's hard, but again, not a tax professional. You can't get any sort of receipt from garage sales or flea markets, flea markets sometimes the vendors will offer them, but as far as like garage sale purchases go, you're SOL.
Well, I mean, I'm probably doing it the wrong way. I don't know, and I'm gonna find out next year if I get audited or not. But so I don't for the thrift store, since I pay my card, GoDaddy pulls that information from my bank account, so it is there. Everything I get from the thrift store is always a cost of good. It's not for me personally at all. But when it comes to the flea market, I withdraw cash, and on the statement on GoDaddy, I always put a cash for flea market because that all that money I waste at the flea market, I don't have any left.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm hoping that's correct.
I have heard that, and again, not a tax professional, but I've heard that any cash purchases that don't involve a receipt, you're pretty much not going to be able to claim it as anything. But I could be wrong. I have no idea. And maybe you can let us know next year, but I don't know.
I would rather claim it that way. I could do more tax deductions.
Yeah.
Let's see. SM Postcard sells on 3 sites: eBay, Etsy, and Hippo Postcards, and have flea market and wholesale side go on one sheet to combine for the total. Anyone selling a good amount needs to speak with an accountant. Yeah, absolutely. We have all but planned this year. We plan on hiring an accountant because there's just way more between 2 businesses, and then eBay is paper intensive and is and then my other business, it's going to be too much for us. So,
and also number 1 rule: never get advice from Facebook because they are not smart.
In fact, as a general rule, most advice on Facebook, probably not. Especially those eBay thrifter sites and groups. Those people, terrible.
Yep.
These are got to get this out there real quick. Yeah. Every week, without fail, there's one of 2 posts. There's either the Disney VHS, like somebody going, "What am I missing here? Why is the price so much more expensive for this one?" But there's one that sold for $4, and you're like, oh. And then there's always the Beanie Baby post, and they're like, "Look what I found! This rare Canada Beanie Baby," and you're like, "Don't you know?"
I always see the ones where it's like, "Oh, I scored the jackpot. How much do you think I can sell it for?" I was like, "Well, how do you know it's a jackpot? Did you not do your research?"
Yeah, seriously.
I absolutely love the beanie. I post the same meme on every one of those because it's just, the people are like, I got the Canada Beanie Baby, and it's new in the box, and you're like, "Oh, congrats, you're about to learn that lesson." Superfast Store said we just sold a Chuck E. Cheese game today. Other than that, our sales lately have been low, with the low as the Steelers win rate. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I'm still a little hurt from last Sunday.
He's always all so upset whenever the Steelers lose. And I said to him, he's all mad, and I'm like, "What's your problem?" And then he's like, "Well, the Steelers lost." And I'm like, "Well, if you're going to be in such a bad mood, why do you even watch it?"
Because when they win, it's great.
Yeah, but when they lose, you're just like, you're in a bad mood. I thought sports are supposed to be enjoyable, and how enjoyable are they if you're just in a bad mood? He's like, "Don't make fun of me."
That's right.
I don't watch sports at all.
Thank you. You're amazing.
You just got 2 football teams. You had none, and now you got 2.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. LA you should know. Sports are dumb.
You know SoFi Arena down there, right?
Yeah.
It's in Inglewood, I think.
Yeah, Inglewood.
So you have the LA Chargers who play there, and you have the LA Rams who play there now. So there you go. You learn something new every day.
To me,
good. I'm
just
glad.
Guys with a logo on their shirt.
So stupid. Don't you're just gonna get angry if you watch it like Adam does, be in a bad mood all day.
JD says, "I only sell clothes on Posh, but all of my experiences with eBay have been strange. I sold an iPod out of the country. They left feedback. They said that said the hotel was really clean and friendly service."
That happens a lot, actually.
That's awesome. Really?
Yeah, they. Well, I mean, unless I'm misinterpreting, they always get the feedbacks mixed up with something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make any sense. The hotel was really clean. And what does that even mean?
Well, that sounds like a Yelp review to me.
Yeah.
Maybe they took an English review from an English review site and put it on this one.
Yeah, they probably did.
Or they tried the Google Translate.
Yeah.
It didn't work at all. That wasn't even close. Maybe they
Yeah.
Googled English good review and came up with that one and just copied and
Right.
pasted.
Probably.
We got one was for like a pair of pants. It was a negative review for like a pair of jeans that said the guitar didn't work whenever we got it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, it's for a pair of jeans. So I contacted eBay for business and they took it off. But that's hilarious. SM Postcard says, I changed from GSP and ship number 4 under direct international. My Canada sales went way up. Yeah, we have tried that and it did not work for us at all. So Hani says, do you think it would be more profitable to list them in November, Squishmallows?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I would think late November, early December, only because there is going to be a toy shortage, and it is all over the news and just in the groups as well. There is going to be a toy shortage, but we just don't know what the hot toy is going to be. That's the problem. Yeah, it could be Squishmallows or it could be something else.
Yeah, that's my fear too with these, is that they're hot right now and they're hard to find now. As they get harder to find, we're going to start selling more. But the other thing that like you said, it could be that, you know, this could be the next Pokemon, because Pokemon's little trend is starting to tail, you know, when I get $100 Pokemon card, of course. But you know, by December, these things nobody will want them. So
I think people are going to want them, even if they're older, because it's better to get a Squishmallow than to get no Squishmallow. So if they have to get something that's not exactly what they wanted, then I feel like they might. I was planning on pulling, if we don't sell them, like by Halloween, pulling them all down and then just like fresh listing them again. Maybe I don't know.
Raise the price a little bit.
Well, I think they actually said too that people are already doing their Christmas shopping now, because come November, December, it's just going to be extremely hard to find what you need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am still calling it, and I think we're going to have a good Q4. I think most resellers will have good Q4s, because I feel like there is going to be a slowdown in the USPS. We already know that, but it's not going to be that bad. Like for medium mail, it might be bad, but I don't think we're going to be waiting 3 weeks or 4 weeks like we were last year, because there is still more people working than there was last year at this time. Some of the post offices weren't even open. So I feel like this year is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of more people are actually going to be shopping online because they can't find what they want in the stores either. Yeah. Every time I go to Walmart or Target or anywhere, a lot of the toy shelves are empty. I can't find anything. Yeah. At least nothing good.
Yeah, we see like chunks. So like you'll go down an aisle and there'll be stuff that's in stock, but then there'll be many, many like chunks of just empty shelves. Yeah. And it's probably, you know,
I feel like it's like that not only with like toys, but like other products. Like my mom just had surgery and I've been doing some of her shopping for her, and she's like, get this laundry detergent, get this trash bag, get this paper towel, get this is whatever. And I'll go and I'm like, well, they didn't have the bleach that you wanted, they didn't have the laundry detergent you wanted, they didn't have like the cereal that you wanted, they only had 1 box of this, you wanted 2 boxes. Like I'm like, what is happening? Like I have to go to like 4 Walmarts.
Yeah, and for Walmarts, I would always buy my Blue Monster Energy drinks, the 12 packs from there. 4 Walmarts that I go to, they are all sold out. Yeah. And also the sparkling ices, I can't find any of those.
Wow, like, I don't know, that's crazy.
I don't know if people are just transitioning more to, you know, the healthy lifestyle, or if they're really just that much in demand. Because even on Amazon, I couldn't find any.
I feel like the sparkling ice, a lot of people do drink those. Mm-hmm. We used to drink those. Yeah. And our friends, like a lot of them, we used to drink them when we were on keto and stuff. I feel like that's a popular drink, and that's crazy. Come to think of it, I really haven't seen them either.
Yeah, they become really popular because of what it tastes like and the lower calorie your sugar, and it is good.
Yeah,
they're not bad. Yeah, we had them a few times. They're pretty good. NC Picker says my Costco is selling 16-inch Squishmallows for $9.99. Did everyone know that?
My Costco doesn't even sell them.
Were they Christmas ones?
So they were selling 16-inch Squishmallows until
I bought them.
Susan says I keep a handwritten log of garage sales, cash out of pocket sales. That makes sense. Again, to catch purchases. SM Postcard says IRS is more worried about income sources not claimed more than expensive. That's true. And with auditing too, it's well, again, not a tax professional, but most of the time with auditors, most of us aren't even going to be on their radar because we're not really making enough for them to really want to look closely.
This coming next year, they will be actually.
Oh yeah,
they are going to go down hard. Yeah. I actually just got out of mine 2 months ago, actually, and thankfully everything was fine. But it was because it was the first year that I actually came close to making a profit, and that I claimed the business with my personal return. So that I guess they were just checking up, and I know next year I'm more than likely going to get audited again.
I hope we don't, but we are going to have a tax professional.
If we do, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Except for all that Breaking Bad money we're making on the back end.
He's been watching Breaking Bad for like the third time.
Oh no, at least the 10th time.
Oh,
at least.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh,
really? You got to. It is so good.
But it's one of those shows that it's the easiest way to describe it is it's one of those shows where you're like, oh, everything's going great now, and then you're like, no, no, don't do that. No.
It's very stressful.
It is.
I've been rewatching anime again.
Okay, that's right. You're into the anime.
I get like anxiety when I watch it. Like, and my whole living room is filled with anxiety now because there's huge mystery boxes in it. I don't even go in the living room. They're sitting there, and then there's Breaking Bad, which also gives me anxiety. So I don't even sit in there.
No, we barely see it. This is actually the only time we really see each other. Riblets Gaming says, I'm not asking accounting info, just how would you go about tracking your own spending? You're not? I can blow money and never remember what the heck I bought. I don't know. I don't want to make that mistake with inventory. I don't think you will because I don't know. For us, we pay very close attention to what we're buying things for, because if we don't, we're not going to be making any money. I mean, we know. I mean, I could probably, there's a handful of things back on that shelf that I probably couldn't at least come close to telling you what we paid for it. And if it's something that we like a year ago or something like that, I might have forgotten. But like each one of these Cabbage Patches, I could give you a rough idea of what money is into each one of those. So I don't know.
And if not, it's always a good average guess since they're almost all priced the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Riblets Gaming is cheering on NC Picker to get those Squishmallows. Superfast Story says, she says sports are dumb. LOL, soon we'll be going to see a gladiator fight with Cabbage Patch dolls on Instagram. She's revealing the contest now.
Oh man, you know what? That's actually not gladiator fights, but Adam had mentioned this, that I should do. Like, I just started it yesterday, and I was just like posting a ton of pictures because I just wanted to, make it look substantial. But he was like, "Oh, you should pose them doing things, like pose them like, like having a cup of tea, or like having them like, I don't know, typing on the computer or something." So I think that is what I'm going to do eventually. And I was so shocked.
You should, because that's what a lot of these Instagram pages are about.
Yeah.
And since you get a lot of different ones, they'll be a lot more unique to you.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. And I was shocked at like how many people are like liking them with like the Cabbage Patch kid hashtag already. People like are obsessed with them.
SM Postcard says, list everything now, because with the post office, it will not get there until next year. Anyway, let's hope that's not the case. Superfast Tortoise says, toys are flying off the shelves now. Can't keep a single item in stock. Bear toy aisles, sigh. It's going nuts now. I don't want those. I don't want to
see
what it'll look. Yeah,
what it will look like later. Yeah,
it's when it's close to the holidays.
Yeah.
And like I said, I actually expect there to be a lot of fights over these toys because parents are crazy for their kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Riblets Gaming says, our store had a lot of empty shelves. They were slowly coming in, but sales out so fast. And yeah, we're having a similar issue here, but not as bad. There's a paper shortage coming too. So if you all use printing paper labels, you grab extras now. We have a lot of labels. That
I
would
need
be
to order
cute.
another 1,000 actually.
The labels.
Yeah, because I just refilled my roller right now with another 1,000, so I need to get another one just as a backup because you never know.
Yeah.
Remind me after we get off the chat. I'll help you out with that.
Thanks.
Well, I guess a couple people have said it, but UPS, you can get them from UPS.com for nothing. The 4x6 ones. So
Okay.
just letting you know.
You have to make an account for that too, don't you?
Yeah, also free.
Gotta make an account for everything.
I mean, they know. I believe once you put in your address. I mean, you use UPS every now and again, right?
No, I've never. I only use USPS.
Oh, really? Okay, well then
Yeah.
I probably won't tell them to you. But yeah, we use UPS. I'd say once or twice a month. Normally, they're the cheapest for our oversized stuff. FedEx sometimes is close. It depends on the day too for us. Like because the end of the week, we really don't have an opportunity to get it to the UPS store. So if it's like within 40 or 50 cents and we can just leave it for FedEx, because FedEx will come get it for nothing, we'll do FedEx. But most of the time, like if it's over the weekend, we'll just pile up UPS packages and then take them to the store. So
Which reminds me, actually, said I've never shipped anything like really big, but I know you guys have.
Mhm.
I actually came into a Toomey travel bag. It's like a really big one. I can't. It'll probably be like maybe 20 by 15 or something. It's really big.
Mhm.
Do you guys recommend FedEx or UPS? And how would I go to even ship that? Because it's worth at least $200 for sure.
If you if you are gonna, if it's on eBay, you could. So here's what we do, and it doesn't always work, as you saw when you were watching my shipping live. It doesn't always work, but what we do is we use like a certain baseline, and it's normally it's like do you know how heavy it is? Is it really heavy?
It's really heavy.
So it's
I would
like
say
over
maybe
20 pounds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so with that, I would probably try to. So like what we did with that McDonald's thing that we sold, we actually went and bought a box for it and then weighed it and figured out like pretty much roughly, exactly what the dimensions are going to be and exactly what the weight's going to be. And at that point, you could pretty much calculate it out. That's probably what I would do if I were you.
Also,
just because
basically, package and weigh before I actually post it.
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to need a weird size box anyways, and it's unlikely you're going to find a free one. So we go to U-Haul down the road from our house, and they've got all different sizes of boxes.
They have like every like size that you would even need, or if you have to like put two together to make it work. Like I found like every like size box I ever needed for big stuff there.
Is it you said it's a bag. Is it like is it a golf bag? Is that what you said it was? Or
no, a travel
like a suitcase?
Yeah, suitcase. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I lost the word.
No. So yeah, with those, I would definitely weigh it.
Okay.
And then it come up. I mean, even if you went to U-Haul and found the box you were going to buy and didn't buy it, and then you can just kind of figure out what the weight of those boxes and add a couple pounds, but the dimensions. The problem with big items is that like the difference between like 15 inches and 26 inches is huge. Like it's like $24 to ship something that's 15 inches, but when you get to like 21, it's like 56, and that's what happened with those candles. Is that we were like 2 inches different when we measured them, and those 2 inches kicked it up into a certain threshold where it just became ridiculously expensive. So that's why I'm telling you to kind of just do all that ahead of time, because the difference between 20 and 22 could be $20.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely gonna do that because that suitcase is definitely worth over 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it at the flea market.
Nice.
Everyone wants you to do the cabbies.
I will. Model. I'll do them.
SM Postcard says he has supplies all the way through Q2 of 2002, which is going backwards. He's got the DeLorean apparently. I'm imagining T saying 2022, but we've got to get some more labels because we just put out another 1,000.
But we do have a ton of priority boxes. The one that we use the most, the one size we use the most, which is like the shoe box, I would say we use probably the most. I was just counting downstairs to see how many we had, and we have 600. So I think we're good to go.
That's my bad. Well, every time I ordered them, Sarah was like, order more shoe boxes. And I'm like, okay. And then the last 2 times I ordered them, I just ordered more shoe boxes because that's what she says every time I order them.
Don't order them again.
Order
We
more.
have people that are going to be getting stuff in the priority shoe boxes, even if it doesn't go in there, because we have 600 of them.
All my priority ship supplies came in today, so I'm like, yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
We're probably going to need more of the padded envelopes, though, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we have, I think, one case of 50 downstairs, so
Yeah, I'll order them after this.
we should probably both order them.
Yeah, I have like 250 left.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Those are the hands down for those of you that are new resellers, and I think Ed would agree with me. These padded envelopes are probably the number one most used thing.
Definitely.
I mean, I don't know about you, but we use these and the priority A box a ton.
And the other A box too, like the
the
one that's under the desk.
Well, no, there's 2 A boxes.
Yeah,
There's
the regional rate.
There's the side loader A box, and then there's the top loader one. That's like a regular looking box. So this is an A box too, but looks like that.
Yeah, I use the padded flat rates and the shoe box the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get more of those. Super Fast Story says for the cabbies that can't sell, group them together and recreate a horror film scene. No, she would never do that. Although you can, because she's got a couple headless ones.
And I also have these ones that I'm working on redoing their hair. So they're a little scary.
Looks like Friar Tuck.
Look at her tooth. It's so cute. But this all has to come out, and then it's going to get restrung. So.
Yeah, that's an interesting process to watch. SM Postcard says if it doesn't fit in a 16 by 12 by 8 box, I don't sell it online. It goes to the flea market. I wish I could do that. Riblets Gaming said you needed to order those padded ones the last live, and you didn't do it. Okay.
You might have, though. I don't know. Honestly, guys, we get the case that's like 50 in a box or whatever. But sometimes here and there, like I'll just go on if I'm bored and order. They have like 10 or 15 packs, and I'll just order those just to have. And I swear I ordered like 3 or 4 of them, and I got 1 pack. Like, So what? Do they hate me?
And that happened to me too. I ordered 3 of the 50, and I only got 1. But then 3 months later, I get the other 2.
Oh, nice.
What's happening?
Well,
I know. I'm starting to guys. I'm starting to panic. What if we don't have enough padded envelopes to get us through the end of the year?
we'll be fine. I think we'll make it.
I don't think we're gonna.
We'll get our hands on them. We'll call your friend who lives out of state and works for the post office, and we'll just go get them.
Yeah, she used to hook us up all the time.
Oh yeah, we were like, can we have a couple hods? And then she's like, how many you need? And we're like, I don't know. And she's like, 30, 40, 50. And we're like, oh, sure. And I went there and I like literally filled up the bed of my truck with all these odds. So.
And then like sometimes our mail lady would just dump them out and keep them, so it'd be good because we would have them. But now then they started taking them, so now we just use the bags. They give us the mail bags.
And it's funny actually because when I went to the post office to go drop off some my orders, I actually heard the clerk tell us like, "Oh, I could give you some right now, but you have to order them online. We can't give it to you in the post office." And I don't know exactly which one she was talking about, but that's what I heard.
I'd never seen the padded ones in the post office. I've seen the regular cardboard ones are in the post office, but I've never seen padded flat rate envelopes in the post office.
They put the most expensive ones for the ones who have to pay the retail price so they can maximize on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's probably because if chances are you'd ship something slightly fragile in this, but in that that regular cardboard envelope,
Nope.
So, you want to hear a funny USPS story that we just had?
Sure.
This is a good one.
Oh, yes.
So our mail lady is on vacation. Our mail lady, if by some miracle she's watching this, is the best mail
She
lady on
is.
the planet. Like if I forget to schedule a pickup, she'll look on our porch to see if there's packages. She'll take them. She doesn't complain. She loves us. We've helped her many, many times. Like, great mail lady. She's on vacation. So Monday, I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's 5 o'clock. Why is the mail still out there? And we've, it's Monday. So we've had Saturday night and Sunday sales all in this giant sack sitting out in front of our, actually 2 of them sitting out in front of our house. So I'm like, why hasn't they come yet? So I called him and the guy answered the phone because I have our locals post office's number because I don't go through that 1-800 crap anymore. So I called him and he's like, oh yeah, he didn't come because your dog was at the door. We're like, it's a storm door, dude. He's like, well, he didn't know if he could get out. And I'm like, the door's shut. Like it's a screen door. Like it's not a screen door. It's not like a wooden screen door that you could easily kick through. It's a storm door, so it's fiberglass and steel. Like it's not going anywhere. And he's like, yeah, he didn't know, so he left. And I'm like, seriously? And he's like, yeah, he didn't know. And I'm like, that sounds like an excuse to me. And he's like, well, that's what he said. I'm like, well, what are we going to do about this? And I'm like, can he come back? And he's like, no, just leave him there, put another ticket in, and he'll come tomorrow. And I'm like, great.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
So he did come. Yeah, he did come back, and he was we had 2 big, because we get the bags now. We don't use the HODs. We just get the mail bags, and they have this like Velcro thing. You can wrap it around the top, and then the mail lady can just like grab it like it's a Santa sack and walk up the steps.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes down and he grabs them, and Adam's like, "Thank you." He says nothing.
Yeah.
And then he just drags him up the hill.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening here?
Oh man, that paints a scary picture for the upcoming holidays.
Right.
Absolutely. Let's see. Soon someone will be online selling handmade padded envelopes. Yeah. They're trying to sell them in Goodwill.
They're handcrafted.
That's right. Handcrafted by USPS. How in the world do you do that? I'm hoping for cabbie rehab on their hair replacement. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you real quick.
Or you could just wait for the video.
Yeah, but no, just real quick. If you want to do it, like I'll just show you real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. I just gotta find the head.
By the way, just really quick. I just got a message that we were talking. Sarah was talking about. How long is the item from top to bottom in inches? The pictures are in the listing.
Of course.
Oh, you got
Of course there.
I just got that message right now.
My response is always the same. I respond back, it's pictures 6 and 7 or whatever number pictures they are. And then most of the time you don't hear a word back. Like they'll never be like, oh yeah, sorry, didn't look. They're just like, oh.
and they always have low feedback. This one only has 2.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Sarah, if you want to explain.
Oh, just real quick. So if you're gonna do this, this is what I do is just cut, and I watched a video on this. So I'm pretty good at it now. So I usually just take, this girl's hair was just like, it was all in knots and like someone like burned it. It looked like, I don't know who was abusing this child, but I just go and I cut it like pretty much like down to like, I don't know, 1/2 inch, like between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, just pretty short. And then on here, there's a zip tie. A little zip tie, and you just pull this out and you cut the zip tie with like pliers or whatever, and then you pull the zip tie out and the head pops off, and then you get the head, which is this right here. Okay, now in the bottom of the head there is a hard plastic plug. Okay, and you can pry it out with a flathead screwdriver. Now do not do it.
You don't need to get into really
I'm almost done.
detailed explanation. You're basically just doing the entire video.
It's real quick.
Don't
but
watch
anyway,
the video.
It's real quick. There's a plug in here. It's hard plastic. You have to soak this head in hot water. It gets real soft. You can pull the plug right out. And then inside here, the hair is like stitched. You take a knife and you just scrape it. And then you take pliers and you pull all the hair out. And then you get this. And then there's special needles for doll heads and yarn, and then you.
I walked there. I came. Our kitchen, our house is one Like it just goes straight back. So the room that is right behind me is the living room. Right there through that doorway is our kitchen. I rounded the bend into the kitchen, and she is sitting at the table with a knife in the other end of the Cabbage Patch's head going, and I'm like, what are you doing?
It takes a while. This took probably to get all of the hair out, probably a good 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And this one you can tell had ponytails because you put it in around here and then they make ponytails. So, and brown hair because their head's brown.
It's Time says, my post lady told me someone uses an old front-loading washing machine as a mailbox. It sits by the road just like a mailbox. Wow. That would be actually pretty worth it because you can fit a lot of stuff in an old front-loading washing machine.
If it says mail, why not?
Yeah, I thought they had to be a certain size, though. I thought
maybe.
I feel like they have to be a little more official than just like a bin sitting out in front of your house. But Superfast Tortoise says, Sarah, kids are watching you and you're going to give them nightmares. SM Postcard says, told you doll people are crazy. That sounds frightening. So interesting. We need a video. Yeah, we do need a video of that. So I got a question. So you said you got a thing for it with a 2 feedbacker. Do you like if you get an offer from somebody and it's a semi-reasonable offer and their feedback is low, but the feedback that they have gotten is within the last month, will you still sell to them?
Yeah. I've sold many things to 0 feedback, 2 feedbacks, and those are the ones that send an offer and pay right away, or they just buy it straight out. To me, that is either the case they just created the account because they never shop on eBay, or it's just a guest seller, which I have no problem with. And oh yeah, go ahead.
That's the vast majority of people that don't pay seem to be people with either extremely low feedback with no feedback within the month. So it seems like I've been trying to minimize this whole non-pay thing because it drives me insane. So what I've been doing is like if they're like a 5 feedbacker and all their feedback has come from like 6 months or more, I'll counter offer, and 9 times out of 10 I don't get anything back. But like you said, people with low feedback, if they have like 2 feedback and their feedback's all within the last month, I'll accept their offer because chances are good, like you said, they're new to eBay or they just bought something or something like that. But yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I've noticed too that it's actually the people with a lot of feedback that don't pay.
Yeah.
And that could be either because they are your competitors, they just want to take you off the market, or they're just really not nice people.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of people that have tons of feedback, like thousands of feedback, and they'll wait till 3.5 days. Like they'll accept the offer, wait for 3.5 days, and then they'll pay. Like they know exactly what they're doing. And I'm like, see, this is why you shouldn't have that system the way it is, because there are people out there that will buy things and then wait 3.5 days and then decide. Because we've had people also buy something or accept an offer of ours and then wait 3.5 days and be like, you know what, I don't want it anymore. And you're like,
yeah. Wow. And I actually brought up that question on the eBay seller check-in. I was asking us, like, what are you guys going to do about all these false iNads? Like, you guys know that probably 80% of them are false. They're not even true. They're just doing it for the free shipping label. I just got the generic answer. It's like, oh, well, we know this. It's become the norm for this reason. Please believe us that it is being brought up in discussions. And that's it. I'm like, yeah, I believe it comes up in discussions, but I highly doubt you guys are going to do anything about it.
Well, didn't somebody pretty high up in eBay made the announcement that they are officially going to be changing it at some point? Like, yeah,
the CEO that they're working on it and it's already in the books, but they didn't. They said that they want to have it out before the end of the year or early next year, but we don't know if that's to be true or not. And I have even then they're still going to have some glitches with that.
Yeah, probably. It just doesn't seem that difficult. Like if Macari can do it, and I know for a fact Macari doesn't charge their card the moment they make the offer. It charges the card whenever you accept it. Because I actually had somebody make an offer and then I accepted it and it said, sorry, the person's payment method was declined. And then I messaged the seller and they were like, oh, sorry, wrong card. I'll switch it. And they switched it and it worked the second time. So
I think actually for Macari and Poshmark, they're the same, where they actually have to agree that it's like if your offer is accepted, then we charge your card. So, but they
Right.
basically have to give the consent that if the offer is accepted, your card is going to be charged for this amount.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why eBay shouldn't do that unless there's something feeding their algorithm that is making it, a little less complicated for people to do things. I don't know. There's got to be a reason they don't want to do it.
The only thing I can think of is since eBay is it has such old programming that they haven't exactly updated the coding in such a long time, from what I understand from another YouTuber that I watch. And since Poshmark and Mercari are still new, they were able to implement that before their platform went live, where eBay has been on for so long that they probably will have to go around so many things in their coding to even be able to do that one simple change. Because one simple
That makes
change,
sense.
just like we learned in Q4 last year, it can mess everything up really quick.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. Very true. So maybe they should wait till after the holidays.
And that's something else, actually. They're going to be putting another item required update during Q4 again. Yep, on October 12th.
Oh, super. Can't wait. Oh, I hate that notification. Susan says, would that mailbox be in West Virginia? It could be. Some parts of West Virginia. Jane is blaming you if she has nightmares tonight, Sarah.
Sorry, Jane.
I heard the postcard dude's coming back on October 26th. I heard something about that too, but
Wow,
He is.
he is. That's right.
that's amazing.
Super Fast Tortoise says, I don't like it when people save your listings and don't do anything with it. Waiting for you to drop the price. Yeah. If you don't like that, the other the other two platforms are going to drive you mental.
The one that's going to drive you mental is Poshmark,
Yeah.
because that's all you do is just get a bunch of likes.
Mercari, we get a lot of likes on Mercari too. The one thing that's crappy I don't like about Mercari's little like system. So for those of you that don't know, you can like something, and then people that you're as a seller, you can send people. You can send the people that have liked your post or your listing offers. And the one thing about Mercari that sucks, so like if somebody likes, or let's say 3 people like my listing today, and I send out an offer to those 3 people, and then tomorrow 3 more people like my listing, I had to wait another day before I can send those 3 people an offer.
Yeah.
And that's a little clunky.
And you actually have to make the offer less than what you sent the other 3 people.
Okay, so that explains a lot.
Yeah, where they're like, this can't be $12. It has to be this much or something.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No,
Yeah,
I was
so,
wondering.
Yeah, every time you send an offer, so like you said, the first 3 people, they get your good offer because it's so close to your old price. But say those 3 people like it again, you actually have to send them an even lower offer, because the 3 old people are going to get that same offer, but the new ones, they have to get that same offer too.
I see, that's garbage.
Yeah.
I was wondering because today I thought it was a percentage at first, and then today I sent out an offer. There was something we were asking 28 for, and then it was like, no, your offer has to be 19 or less, and I'm like, that seems like a lot less than the last time I sent an offer on this. So yeah, I did not know that. That's even worse.
The offer always has to be less than what you sent before.
Yeah, I don't like that. Riblets Gaming says it almost sounds like they locked down the item for 3 days while trying to get it cheaper. Yeah, I've seen that. A lot of our watchers that are resellers. Yeah. Unfortunately. I wonder how many of one buyer locks down waiting for the cheapest and then cancels with all the others. I've had that happen. We just had that happen.
Yeah, that happens often.
Yeah. What did we have that happen with? Somebody canceled because they found it cheap. Oh, no, somebody actually well, we did have it happen with a pair of pants, but somebody actually is returning the iPod Touch that we sold for $20 because they found it cheaper somewhere else.
Oh.
For the second time, that stinking iPod, it keeps coming back.
Nobody.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just hate electronics. I hate reselling electronics.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. It's like they make it look so easy, but it's probably the most returned category there is, second to clothing.
Easily. See, and everybody said that when we started selling a lot of clothing, especially jeans, everyone's like, you're going to get tons of returns. We don't. We get, a fair amount, but I wouldn't say, if people are like talking like 20-25%, we're not even close. We're probably 3 or 4%.
But you know who are the ones that are probably getting all the returns are the ones who are not including measurements. Because I've noticed that a lot of these listings, they might have the measurements in the description, but as we all know, buyers, they don't read the description. So I see some shirts or pants that are the same as mine. None of them have measurements at all. Mine's always do. But that's what I'm assuming, that most of them they get those returns because they could tell eBay. I was like, well, I didn't know. It wasn't clear enough. It's like, you know how eBay is with that. I was like, all right, well, that's fine. Return it.
Yeah.
The doesn't fit category shouldn't even exist. And it's like, I get it, but in the same respect, like, you've seen all the measurements. eBay should have something where, like, if you provide measurements, they can't return it if it doesn't fit. Like, that's just, well, maybe not. I
mean, they just need to rethink their whole return system in general.
As soon as I thought about that, I'm thinking about me with shoes, and like, there are certain size 13s that are just too narrow for me, so at that point I would have to return them because it would just be terribly uncomfortable. So
yeah. And I actually just got a return on Poshmark for not size, but because the pictures, it showed the same flaws that she was complaining about, and Poshmark approved the return. It didn't make any sense at all. And then I messaged them saying, I was like, well, what's the reason for this? It's like, why are they? The pictures clearly show in the listing what she put in the return request, and then their response was like, well, it wasn't clear enough in the description because of one tiny little speck, so we were forced to accept the return. It's like, you weren't forced. So once I got the shoes back, I blocked that buyer.
I feel like people, if they complain enough, the company is going to do something. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, we had that girl that mailed her return back to herself, and eBay sided with her. And then I had to call, and I'm like, they didn't mail the return to us. And she's like, oh yeah, I see that here. Oh yeah, and you called before about it. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, we'll switch to reverse the decision. And it's like, I know exactly what happened. She called. She got one of the call center people. She complained enough and yelled enough that they just sided with her.
Yep. Exactly. So. And I forgot what I was going to say.
I'll give you a second. Superfast Tortoise says, Mad Kitty Meow Meow graces us with his presence. SM Postcard says, I'm an electronic technician and I try not to sell anything that plugs in online. Tina Bina made it. She says, love you guys. Sorry I missed it. Was hanging out with my SIL, which I guess is sister-in-law. She's better than NC Picker, and she also wants to snuggle that cute kitty.
Oh, that's Tiger. See, he doesn't want to turn his head. He doesn't want to look at anyone.
But yeah, so
and I remember now. So I got another return for a pair of Under Armours. I don't know if you guys remember. It was some gray ones, and I complained to eBay, but I was like, hey, this guy's a reseller.
Yeah, I do remember.
He knows the system. He claimed INAD when it wasn't true because he said that the shoes were more dirtier than what they showed. I was like, you can clearly see that they were stained and whatnot. So I got the return, had to pay the return shipping label, and I reported the buyer because that says like, we'll report the buyer, we'll look into it to see if we can get the shipping credit. Mm-hmm. I barely got the shipping credit this month, and it was only for $6.
Better than nothing, though, I guess, right?
But it's like, come on, this should be a sign that people know how to abuse the system. You guys have to do something. If not people, I mean, I don't think they'll be leaving eBay, but they're definitely going to be losing a lot of the smaller sellers who don't know the system at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. eBay's return system is just wrong in many ways. Like they could definitely improve it. I bought a tonneau cover for my truck from eBay, and it. Do you know what a tonneau cover is?
No.
So those like vinyl covers that go over the top of the truck bed that keep
it. Yeah.
It's just so that's what it is, and so they're big, and they it folds down into like 3 sections, but they're still big, and they're heavy. They're probably 10-12 pounds. So I ordered one from eBay for my new truck, and I got it, and it was just the wrong size. It didn't fit. So I opened a return with eBay. They sent me a shipping label. I get the little label. I print it out. It's a first class label. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. So I put the label on. I called eBay and talked to him. And he's like, no. First class return postage is much different than first class, like just regular postage. I'm like, I don't think it's that different. But okay, I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to see where this takes us. So I put the label on it, stuck it outside. Mail lady came and picked it up. I asked her about it. And she's like, I don't know postage. I'm going to take it. It scans. It's gone. I'm like, great. So 2 weeks go by. Heard nothing. Tracked the package. It's stuck somewhere in Jersey, not going anywhere at the warehouse. I'm like, what's wrong? So I called the post office. The post office is like, oh, the postage is not enough, but we're going to push it through because it's a return, and they're going to have to pay whenever it gets there. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I told everybody this was going to be the case. I'm like, but nobody listened to me.
That's probably how they sent it to you, because whatever shipping method was used to send it to you is the same shipping method as used. Oh no,
no, it came FedEx.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, I have no idea.
It was so weird.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, and it was like, okay, well, whatever. And it took 2.5 weeks, and it did get to them. They had to come pick it up from the post office in Jersey, but they did get it, and I did get my refund eventually. But
it took like a month.
Yeah, it took like almost a month, and I'm like, I knew this was going to happen. They were like, well, it's insufficient postage. I'm like, no kidding, it's a first class label. I mean, even if it's 5 pounds, we'll say we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and just say that first class returns, are just a little, maybe 5 pounds. It's a 10-pound item, and it's at least 15 inches long. So this is not going to work, but whatever. We'll just take a few more and then we'll get out of here. I think they need to add a pop-up that states, did you check your size or something like that? Yeah, that would be great. Tina Bina says Tiger is camera shy. It is for certain. Return mail is worse than media mail in timing. Well, I don't know how anything can be worse than media mail. And Jane says good night. Good night, Jane. Yeah. So that about wraps it up. We just went over 2 hours, but I know you got to get to bed.
Yeah, I got to get up in 5 hours.
So what do you got coming up on the channel? Anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
So I'm just doing little random thrifting videos right now because I haven't been thrifting much because I have too much inventory. But I just came out with the eBay September recap, just giving you like the important details of at least what applies to us general resellers. And just the day before I did just another mini what sold, and maybe this upcoming Sunday I'll do another what sold. I don't have too much planned because just life has just been crazy for me at the moment.
Do you want to throw your link in the chat real quick, and that way everybody that hasn't subbed to you can go check you out? I was going to do it, but I'm going to get it.
Sarah's worst fear just happened that my phone just died, so
Oh,
I can't even share it.
It is Sarah's worst fear.
I knew you were chatting in there, but I'll do it for you real quick.
Alrighty. Yeah, because it literally just happened right now. I was like, nope, no more.
Sarah's worst fear has come true live tonight on Pittsburgh Picker.
I have a couple fears. That's one of them.
That's one of them. There you go. For those of you that maybe are not subscribed to Ed's channel, there's his link right there. Is that right? Oh, yeah. Do you have that's you.
Yeah, that's right. I still haven't done one of those custom links yet.
Just want to make sure I copied the right one. I'm like, great, I shared somebody else's. So there's Ed's link. If you guys go subscribe to his channel, check him out. He's really good. He does do some fun facts on his what sold video, so that's pretty cool. I like that.
Thank you.
And coming up on our channel, you guys, if you don't know it already, we've got a mystery box unboxing coming up this coming Sunday. That has been crowdfunded, is what we're calling it. It's crowdfunding mystery box on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, what's sold from the week is coming up. And then, of course, our usual thrifting and such videos. Sarah might be doing a cabbie rehabbing now as well. So that might...
I might be.
So that might be coming up soon. But that's about it for this week, guys. Thank you, Ed. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. We always love having you. So
thanks anytime.
Yeah, and that's about it for this one. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.